Good evening, everybody. Slightly later than originally planned through technical issues to go around in the biggest circle I've ever been on and found out that it was exactly the problem that we thought it was at the beginning, but we didn't fix it. So thank you so much for waiting, everybody. Thank you to Milkshake, who have been texting us waiting for to see what's happening. Thank you to Shelley for putting up with me while we tolerate each other of technology issues. It's been an absolute nightmare. But anyway, enough of that. Let us know that you're here in the chat. It's been the first live in over a month. I've had a renovation of my house. I've not even been able to get into the office, so it's been a while. So if you've missed us, let us know where you're watching from. That would be awesome. As you can see on my right, I think it's coming across that way on the camera. We have the awesome Shelley Lane from Milkshake, who is I've already seen it. I'm not going to lie, but we have got some exciting pictures to show you. We've also got a video. I don't think that's been seen by anybody else. Am I right?
No, I only received it today, so I'm excited to show it. Incredible.
So I can't wait to show you that. You let me know when you want that. So we've got just less than a minute for everybody. I can see the likes are coming through. Get the comments in. I'm going to share this to the group. While I do that, please let me know where you're watching from, and then I don't have to keep rabbiting on. I can just talk to you guys. But we have the usual guests on. I can see the names popping through already. That is incredible. Thank you so much for joining. In fact, because you've waited for so long, I'm going to skip the last 30 seconds. I'm going to go straight over to Shelley, who will tell us what she's showing us tonight.
Okay, so hello everybody, thank you for waiting. And so today I'm going to be talking about my latest BHA entry, which has got me to the final, which is next week. So I'm very, very excited. And I'm just going to kind of talk you through like what inspired me, how I go about creating my collections, and I'm going to show you a few little pieces that I've made, but it takes months of making. So what I'm showing you is pretty much the leftovers of my collection, because on this one, at the end, everything fell apart because it's so delicate. But I think first of all, we will show you the video and then I will talk a bit more after that. That's okay?
Beauty, at first sight, appears fragile and delicate. One touch and it would never leave the ground. But this surface belies a hidden strength. You don't see past the struggle, slow and hard, over time and effort. In that dark place where some never emerge, but through sheer will, it becomes the butterfly. This beauty is stronger than it looks.
Oh, I'm so pleased to see my video come together.
Honestly, that looks incredible. Like when I was putting it on, I forgot that I was actually working. I was just watching it. It was incredible. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I love the guy I work with is Simon Huntley, and he's done all my videos for me. And this time, on the weekend I was in London and I went down Carnaby Street, and all the decorations is butterflies and kaleidoscope. It's called Carnaby Kaleidoscope, and within that video is butterflies and kaleidoscope. So just thought I'd put that in there.
So I'm going to get some questions are going to come through soon about BHAs, because for those of you who don't know, I'll just give a quick one over on my end, because I have actually never entered the BHAs. It's something that we've been speaking about with Matrix, who I work for, about doing that, and obviously you do that and you represent Milkshake. Now, it's actually sponsored by another brand, which is irrelevant, but for me, there's so many awards for hairdressing that from different levels all the way, but for me this one is one of the ones that you kind of set yourself a bar of this top standard to get in there. And Darren Starker, who's just joined, I know he's another one that enters, and hats off to you, because I know how much, well, I'll let you tell us how much work and effort and cost goes into this.
Yeah, probably won't go into cost because that one's scary, but yeah, time and effort. I think for me, well, actually, I have this piece here. So my collection started from me making this, okay, which is, it's just a piece of clothing which I attached loads of butterflies. Now, inspiration can come from anything and everything. I kind of, at the beginning of this collection, I knew I wanted to produce a collection, and then I put all this pressure on myself and what am I going to do? And then I was like making little notes or collecting images on Pinterest to inspire me. And then I thought, you know, all I need to do is do something I love. And I do love butterflies. Like I have many within my tattoos, and my salon, my logo from my salon has butterflies. So I thought, let's just do something I love creating, and that's kind of where it came from. And then obviously I made this piece, which again I was going to use within my collection, but when I started working on the actual hair, the whole process changed like it normally does, and I wanted to make it look as delicate, as fragile as possible. So I did many techniques over months and months, wasted a lot of hair. Well, actually not wasted, I still put those pieces aside for another day, but until I, you know, went back to something really simple, which was creating hair lace. But I really pushed the boundaries on it this time and made them as thin as I possibly could, and honestly they just kept falling apart. I had butterflies in every room in my salon and every room in my house. My poor boyfriend kept finding them everywhere, blocking the Hoover. But yeah, it was quite challenging, and many sleepless nights over dreaming about butterflies. It literally took over my life, and by the end of it I was pretty done with butterflies. But
well, just to give everybody the heads up, I have the collection ready to show everybody. Yeah. We've already been through it. It looks stunning, but I think rather than show that off now, I think maybe let's show how you got there, and then we'll show what the final images look like. What do you think?
Yeah, show the collection now.
Do you want to show it now, or do you want to wait till later on and show us some techniques on how you got there?
Yeah. So I'll show you a little bit of technique. So for those of you who don't know how to make hair lace, I'm not going to make it from the beginning, because it actually, I like to leave it set, rebuild. So here's a kind of sample piece. And I just do this with, first of all, nice clean hair. I dry texturise and spritz into it. So it's a bit like a sea salt spray, texturise and spritz in Milkshake. Dry that into the hair, and then I use like a volumizing powder, and I cut the pieces up. On this particular one, I use probably pieces about that long. Chop them all up, sprinkle them over solid surface, lightly spray, and then you just put your diffuser over there. And then I slice it, and then I flip it over, spray again, and I will have, so my studio where we are now, or where I am now, I had sheets actually all over this floor, and in between clients I would just pop upstairs and spray the room pretty much, leave it all settle, and then leave again. And so this had quite a few weeks of like fine hairspray, and the idea is that it doesn't look too shiny at the end. You don't actually want it to look like there's any product on there, but feel like a piece of paper. By getting into that technique, or the texture, sorry, of paper, you're then able to cut it into whatever you want. So I'm just going to cut a little butterfly.
So, like, obviously, that in itself sounds like it takes a long time.
Yeah, you've got to have patience. I do think, I do have a lot of patience, and I like to challenge myself. I like little fiddly things to make, and actually find it quite relaxing. So I get my basic shape, and again, because some of these, depending on how good the hair lace is to start, so I'm cutting out, and it's the little details that count actually, because you can put a basic shape in, but I like to just take these little corners out. And then once I got like my little butterfly, I would then spray them up again. So this is just the Milkshake Stronghold hairspray. Then I get my diffuser and I actually just push them down. Now, this is a Dyson and my butterflies just fitted perfect in there. Pop it on for a second.
Did you have to hold that in? Or was it just staying?
Pardon?
Did you have to hold that in, or would it...
No, I put a little bit of pressure, so I haven't actually got a clip next to me, but then you can see like I've bent the wings now. And I would keep going, so some of them are slightly different shapes. You know, I've got some that are a little bit, he's a little bit wonky now, but I tried to create them so they all look like they were fluttering in different directions.
I can't be the only one that's watching this thinking, how did she do that freehand? Because you didn't even draw, you just cut the shape in.
Oh, I did pick up another butterfly, but then yeah, I finished off the shape.
No.
Because I know what a butterfly looks like.
It's still a talent though. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, they are everywhere in my salon, so yeah. And it did take a bit of practice, don't get me wrong. The first ones were not so great and they got better as time went on.
They look like moths, the first one.
Pardon?
Did they look more like a moth, the first ones?
Yeah, it did actually. I think the first lot were a little bit bigger and then I tried to make them smaller and smaller. Within these as well, I had to create shadows. So whatever ones I made, then they had... So I've got a darker one here. So then you'd have to cut a shadow slightly smaller than the one you've already got.
Well, David Baker and Josie Milkshake also agree with me that you are incredible. And Josie says that you're one
Dave.
clever person.
Well, me and Dave work together on many shows, and yeah, it's Dave's amazing as well. Dave's courses are fantastic. If you want to learn about curly cutting, and Dave's just super fun to work with. Hang on. Can't talk while cutting this.
Catherine Betts says, Shelley, you've always been amazing and creative.
Oh, I used to work with Catherine as well. They're all on you today. Right, so you can see now it's just got that little bit of a shadow. So when we attach them to the hair, it just made that difference. Things look like they were landing. Just give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. And again, like, you know, what was really important that I almost peeled these apart. So sometimes the hair lace was just a little bit thick. And this was something I did quite a bit. So you're taking them out, so things just got thinner and thinner to create my like little shadows.
So like, obviously, if I wanted to suddenly think of something like this, I would instantly now think of you. I would go to you. But who's the person that's obviously you would go to or look at their Instagram when you're thinking of ideas like this?
To be honest, I look at artists. I don't really, you know, obviously I do look at hairdressers to inspire me, but I like things that include like embroidery, which was my last collection. And then it's like, how am I going to make that into hair? Or how am I going to use hair to do that? You know, that's, yeah. So I love Angelo Seminar's work. You know, I think his work is probably the most that I would look at for references. But yeah, artists mainly. That's
cool. I like it. I like the.
Yeah.
I like thinking outside of the industry for inspiration. It's a big thing of mine because I wasn't.
I think with avant-garde, you kind of, because it's about art, isn't it? It's not your normal way of thinking of hairdressing. I've never had a client come in asking for a butterfly in their hair. It might happen in the future, but you know, it's not. It's fabric, isn't it? Hair, so you would use cotton to make items of clothing, or you know, anything. So why can't we use hair to create something different?
Well, I like it. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting you.
That's okay. So some of my butterflies I actually drew on. I like painted on as well. I don't know if you can see this. You can see like really, really delicate little lines.
Yeah, I can see them. Hopefully everyone else can see them at home via the stream. Let us know in the chat if you can see it.
But, so, and all I used was actually a makeup brush, or makeup eyeliner brush, and painted on the detail then. So I didn't do it on all of my collection. There's some which have got the tiniest little spots. It was something that I kind of started and then it kind of fizzled out within as I was making them. So, but it was, you know, some of them, well, it just kind of, when you added it to an actual piece of hair, you could see like that extra little bit of shadow on the butterfly. See?
Have you ever been out of the salon or to an evening meal or anything like that and actually put these butterflies in your own hair?
No.
We need to make these an accessory. This is a thing. It has to happen.
Real hair accessories.
Yeah.
Well, I actually got a little plan for these, but I'm not going to tell you when I'm going with it. But yeah, watch this space.
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you for that. Oh.
But yeah, if you want to show my images now,
okay,
I can just say a little bit about what each one was and.
Well, if you, what we'll do is we'll show the images. Everyone let us know in the chat if you want to see the images. Just give us a wire. Just a nice, simple wire. Enter. There you go. So that'll make everybody happy. And we'll show it. And as we show it, I want you to give as much appreciation as you can because these images are incredible. And anybody who's in this chat that's ever done the BHAs, and again, I've never entered it myself because of the standard of what it is, and I think that you should be given as much praise for this as you can because it's incredible. So we'll start off with these ones now. Hopefully you can hear Shelley or talk over this. We haven't actually practiced that bit.
So the pink one,
on the left.
So yeah, like I wanted to, you know, she's actually looks like a fairy, I think, with all the butterflies kind of landing on her. This is the one I did actually paint all the little lines in. And the whole piece was actually made on top of a frame. So this one I arrived at the shoot with everything pre-done, apart from obviously the butterflies I attached to her body and loosely kind of placed on the hair. So this was the first one I made. So this was like, I guess, the vision of the whole collection. And it just took forever. So I kind of tried out a few different techniques within this one. But yeah, as it started coming together, I was very, very happy because up to this point, I wanted to throw it at a wall. The next one, it reminded me of a tree. I had this vision of kind of, you know, a tree, oh God, I've lost my words. Just basically, oh God, what's the word?
Well, I can tell you that Ola's put beautiful while I distract everybody, while I fill in the gaps for you. But my opinion, while you think of it, everybody can hear you fine, by the way. I wasn't sure. We never actually practiced the sound part of this bit. But yeah, we've got beautiful from Ola. We've got Josie saying she can hear you perfectly. And in my opinion, I was saying it when we were putting these up, but these two models are absolutely stunning. I mean, even if you're not a hair model, that they are just two beautiful models.
Oh, I know. And, you know, they were the two that, you know, when you choose your models, and I could just picture what I wanted on these two straight away. Well, I could picture what I wanted on them all, but these were like my starting point. So the second one with the dark, I actually, you know, tested this on a polystyrene mannequin. I regretted that because when I come to take off my butterflies, I ended up taking off polystyrene. So little note to self, do not attach all your work to polystyrene in future. So it was a little bit fiddly on the day. I actually tried to get all those bits off and I ruined a few pieces, but luckily I had spares. But again, we went when it came to editing, I worked with Dan Thomas. He's absolutely amazing. And he just kind of put that little bit of blur on the edges to create like a motion, which again, I love.
Do you know what? Yeah, now I never noticed that until you've said it, and now I can't not see
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that is beautiful.
And then, do you want to go to the next two?
Yeah, absolutely. So the next two are 1 and 2. There we go.
So the copper, again, I just wanted to create like all those little butterflies, almost like lifting the curls, and you can see on some pieces, they just like lifting her hair up. Again, this was actually much harder than it looks. You know, on the day I was putting things on the hair and it was falling off. So there was a lot of, you know, product build up behind there trying to get the support I needed, because I really, really didn't want to use any wire within this one. I wanted it to be hair and products. And everything I use as well is human hair. I don't use any synthetic hair. I have tried and I don't really get on with it. I think you've got much more kind of flexibility with human hair. It does cost more though, that's the downfall. And then the ponytail, yeah, this took forever. Again, there was no wire involved, and I did set after set trying to create that ponytail. It is obviously my model's hair to start with, and it goes into a fake ponytail, but her hair was within this look. And again, it was one of those things that I think it took me about 4 hours on the day, and I'm not even exaggerating, because as soon, because the heat off the body obviously makes hair drop, so it was great when I did it on the mannequin, but as soon as I put it on her body, it started dropping. So it was really, really challenging, but we got there in the end, and I was really pleased with the finished look.
What can I ask you about? Obviously, people will say, "Oh yeah, obviously you've done the styling, you've added your thingies," but I presume you colour these models' hair as well.
Yeah. So the blonde is I colour her hair anyway, and she has the most amazing base. So I just use high lift tint on her. We stopped bleaching her hair a couple of years ago because it'd been ruined by, well, just over processing, and because she's a hair model, going to everybody bleaching her hair all the time. So she's just high lift tint now, and it comes out amazing. Olivia then, the redhead, that's a wig. I made that wig. Previously, it was in another collection of mine, and it was blue.
Yeah.
But I just, bleach bathed it out, and that was actually all the colours are with the new coloured whipped creams in Milkshake. And again, if you're working with wigs, they're so even going on, it's so consistent, it's so easy to do, and I literally just dilute everything down in a bucket of water and just pop my wig in for like 5-10 minutes, and that's what I've done on all of them. So it's a really, really quick and easy way of doing things.
Well, we have another two. Shall we show them ones as well?
Yes, please.
Oh my dear.
Okay, well, my minty one, as you can see, has got little stripes going through. Oh, I did have... Oh, I've moved my piece. So those little stripes, again, it's just freehand painted onto some hair extensions and then added to a wig that I made. And again, like I said about the shadows earlier, we put the shadows, and within this one, I absolutely love the shadows because they can see like they've got little bodies on the butterflies, and it kind of really fitted in well. And this one is just kind of like they're all travelling up her head. On every piece as well, the butterflies have a journey. So as you can see on this, they're going up. On the brown, they were coming round. On the pink, they were a little bit all over the place. Ponytail were actually coming over the head, back down and up. And on this one, they both flying, sorry, on the brunette, then they both flying out from the head. So that was another thing that we kind of,
well, I've only just realised
had a firm
that
vision
the one
of
on the
what
right,
we wanted before the shoot.
She's the same model, isn't she? I just realised that. Is that the blonde model?
So the blonde model, yes, is the
Yeah.
brunette, and the green is the dark hair.
See, never. I just realised it's only because of like as you're explaining it, I realised the tattoos.
Yes.
So obviously that's a wig as well. Then on the right hand side.
Yes.
Awesome. That is stunning, by the way. How did you get the butterflies to stay on the body on the left?
Eyelash glue.
Right, oh, clever. I like that one.
Yeah. So yeah, eyelash glue is brilliant for, and you know, most girls, because the other thing is you've got to think about your skin testing, and skin testing with obviously hair colour, if you were to colour your model's hair on the day, but products as well. So yeah, eyelash glue. Most people are pretty great with it.
I pressed the wrong one there. We're going to go back to that one. Sorry, but yeah, that's pretty special. That I must admit. If anyone wants to see any more of these pictures, I presume you're going to post them on your socials if you haven't already.
Yeah, they're all up. There's just one more video. So obviously this video has come out today, and then I put a behind the scenes one on my social media today. And it was just like all the models, like silly little videos, Snapchat things and whatever. But there's a proper behind the scenes coming out. And on the first 2 looks, we managed to get some work done outside, which, so there's a whole different side to the images being filmed outside, which unfortunately it rained after that, and there was just no way we could take these pieces outside because they would just turn to mush in seconds.
What is your social media for people that want to find it afterwards?
It's Shelley Lane Inspires.
Shelley Lane. I will write that down for everybody as well in case you can't remember. It's all one word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shelley.
Shelley. People forget the EY.
Don't you worry. I've written that name so many times lately. So I put it there on the screen for everybody to see. I say I put it on the screen. It's not loaded up yet, but it's coming on in a second. There we go. So there it is for everybody. Hopefully I've got that right. If I haven't done it, just spell it right and then you'll find it. But yeah, so thank you very much for that. So what are we going to show anything with the how to apply them to the hair? Because I would love to know.
Because this is the other way around in my phone. Keep doing it the wrong way.
I noticed that when you pointed at your tattoos on your wrong arm.
I know, wrong arm. I'm like, I'm so confused. Right. Is that kind of okay there? So this is the piece that was on Olivia. And the hair was actually crimped first, so that makes it a lot easier to attach things to. It was the only piece that I did actually crimp. Just move here out of the way. So let me show you as well, which underneath here. So I make for a lot of my pieces these frames, and basically it's just a wire, a mesh kind of hat, and it's so easy to kind of attach your work to it. So if you are making a piece, you know, that you can just put on top of the head, then I would highly recommend that you make one of these. They're really comfortable for the model to wear, and obviously it keeps your piece solid, because there's nothing worse than making it on something, like I've made pieces before just on top of hair lace, on top of a blockhead, obviously taking it off and it's falling apart. So these little frames I make have come in really handy. And then yeah, you can see I did actually cover it in a sheet of hair lace. Yeah. And that was just to make sure that if there was any little pieces showing, that everything was hidden. And yeah, so all I'm going to do, just pop a little bit of a shape into her hair. Ruined it now, but hang on a second. But I think the most important thing with any collection you create is just do something that you love. Like, don't look at what the industry needs, just think What is going to look good in your salon? What are you going to get the most enjoyment out of? And do you know what? I think it just comes together, and I think in the past I've done things thinking, oh, I should do this. This is a cool idea, but it hasn't quite worked out. So when you just keep it all true to yourself,
I'm one of
as
the
long as
worst
you're
for that,
really happy with it, then
I'm
who cares what everyone else thinks? I think if you put your heart and soul into something, that comes through your work, and people connect with it then because you've connected with it. Whereas if you just do something and you just think, oh, I'm just making this because this is a cool image, but you know what I mean.
No, 100%.
Does that make
I
sense?
am one of the worst for this. Anyone who's watching that's worked with me, when I go on a stage, I'm like, right, I need to impress everybody. I need to do something different. But then they've not come to see me do something different. They come to see me do my work. And like you're saying there, they've come to see you do. But people want to see what you love doing.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's so many talented artists out there. And it is like going on stage, you are trying to think of something new all the time. And it's really, really hard. But actually, if you can just master creating what you love, and people want to watch that, you know?
Certainly do.
When I actually joined Milkshake, one of my fears was working with Dave Baker, if he's still watching, because we were complete opposites. And I remember looking at his work thinking, oh my God, like we are like worlds apart. But actually when we went on stage together, we realised that we were the complete opposite. But, you know, if Dave was doing something up, I was doing something down, and everything we were putting together, we were like, but that was his interpretation of something, and mine was literally the opposite. But it worked.
It is. I'm just kind of like admiring the pictures again, down on my phone. It's like, just trying to create that, it just baffles me out because I'm not really into that sort of hair up. So, but yours seems a bit more approachable for me because it's all down. I'm good at styling hair, but not necessarily hair up, and you tend to see a lot of hair up as well when it's competition work.
Yeah, and I love putting hair up.
Yeah.
I teach hair up. And yeah, so I've actually started on my next collection, and there's going to be a lot of more things going up. But I do love seeing long hair and flowy hair, and
So I know people will want to know how you like placing these and if there's any products or anything that you're putting in with it. But while you're showing us that, is this the first time you've entered the BHAs and become a finalist, or have you been there before?
No, so I've entered 4 times, and I was a finalist in 2017. That was my first avant-garde collection, and yeah, my other collections didn't get through. So,
well, I think it's important to sort of like talk about things like that because a lot of people will possibly maybe enter next year because they've been inspired because of Hair Socials and yourself and all the other artists that are out there saying, look at my work, but don't be defeated if you don't get through once.
Yeah, do you know what? My collection Efflorescence, it's all very flowery and very, very pretty. It didn't get through, but the exposure I got from that collection, there's a salon in Australia that's got it in their window. There's a salon in Italy that's got it in their window. I took it on tour with me in America, in Australia. So pieces from, just because a collection doesn't get through to the finalist doesn't mean you've lost. It's just those people judging it that day, it wasn't their taste. So I actually loved every single thing about that collection, and I wouldn't have changed anything. I loved it. I still love it. It's in my salon has it on the front. Got 3 big windows with it in. So that's what I mean about producing something you love. If you love it, it just doesn't matter. And it will find its own way into the industry. But I do think working with good photographer, good makeup artist, but people you enjoy working with as well. We have fun on our shoot days, and I think, again, that's important. You're spending a lot of money, you want to come away thinking, that day was awesome, and,
Yeah, that's
good memories.
Good point. That's a good point, because just because you haven't got through, it's not like people will see it.
It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not the end of the world. It's also not a waste of money because it's your own brand, it's your own marketing, it's your own shop windows. As you said, the collection that you didn't get free with is still the one in your window.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I did create this one thinking I'd like it for my salon images, but it's not going in my window. I love the ones in my window are like literally perfect. I'm just popping these on here, as you can see, as they're building up. A few different colours. And
how many do you think you made?
Oh, I dread to think. I mean, I had boxes and boxes and boxes, and they were like, I'd make them and then they'd fall apart, so it's quite sad.
Oh, that is sad.
I probably made a couple of hundred in the end to use. Not a lot, because sometimes they just weren't right, so you'd spend all that time kind of cutting them out and then they wouldn't be quite right. So this is all I have left of the entire collection, which is really sad because I teach as well. I do like to try and have things that I could use on future projects, and I'm left with nothing.
Do you do any education on for maybe people that want to get into the BHAs next year? Is there any course that you would recommend for them?
Well, I have done an avant-garde course myself, which was brilliant. The only problem was it was very difficult to set up, so I did quite a few workstations, but if I had enough interest I would do it again. But it was actually an expensive course for me to do because I had obviously quite a lot of hair extensions for people to use, and a lot of the time once it's been used within a technique like this, you can't reuse this other than to make another butterfly, but once it's in 1,000 pieces, there's not a lot you can really do with it. So yeah, it's possibly something I would be doing next year, but I'll just see. Let me know if you fancy an avant-garde course, then yes. Okay. So with this here, obviously I've just placed these on and you can kind of see I'd need a hell of a lot more to build up on there to actually get anywhere. But on the day with like some of the looks, where I wanted it to look like it was just floating away, it was just obviously shaping the hair, spraying it up. I put a little bit of heat behind it with my diffusers just so it wasn't blowing the hair everywhere. And then it was just a case of once my butterflies are in the shape they wanted them to be and the direction I wanted them to go, it was just placing them on. And then you've got like seconds before that piece collapses and falls away. I won't make anything so hard next time, I tell you. For myself, for my own sanity.
Well, I can't wait to see more of the collection. I need to look at your previous collections as well because they sound just as impressive as this one, to be fair.
Well, yeah, so I just wanted to give you an idea. Obviously, she kind of looks a little bit like she's been dragged through a bush, but luckily the other ones didn't.
Oh no, she looks stunning, and the images look stunning, and I'll just kind of like remind everybody like what we're talking about here. So, I do, like to when I am working on my on the photo shoot day. Like all my pieces, all my wigs I took along on an actual blockhead. They all had butterflies. So I had butterflies on the eyes or on the mouth of my mannequins. I made sure that I surrounded myself with everything that was going to kind of inspire me that day. And I think that always works as well. Mood boards as well. This time I didn't actually do a mood board. But in the past I've done a mood board and taken it with me to my shoots as well. So that really, really helps. Do you know what I found interesting is the lack of people that actually used a mood board before. It's not something that seems to be a common teaching method nowadays. It's like I was introduced to it when I got into the L'Oreal world, but I feel like it's something we should be taught earlier on, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I always do. Whether I print it out, I will always create a mood board on my phone for every single project I do. And
do you ever think you've created a mood board and changed ideas, or evolved ideas maybe more than changed them, because I did. I felt like my idea evolved bigger because of my mood board.
Oh, definitely. And it's quite nice to look back on the journey where you started, your first images to what you actually achieve at the end, because the artists that I was inspired by, I was liking the images, and they were paintings of just a beautiful lady, and then she'd have like a lot of flowers and graphics and butterflies kind of over half their faces, and I was really, really drawn to, and there's lots of artists that do that kind of style, and so that's where, you know, I was like, oh, I kind of want to have that butterflies on the face kind of thing, and then stem from there then.
Well, it looks incredible, and I thank you for your time. We had obviously technical issues at the beginning, but thank God we've got them sorted. When is the final again, for those that don't know?
A week today.
A week today.
Next Monday.
Where's it at?
London, in Grosvenor's House.
Beautiful, beautiful place. So anyone who wants to follow that, obviously just go directly to Shelley. You don't really need to go anywhere else. I'm sure she'll post lots of pictures and stories and things for you all.
Milkshake are going to be covering myself, because Andrew Smith as well, he's a finalist, and he's another ambassador from Milkshake. So they're covering us that day, the getting ready process, hair, makeup, everything. So there's going to be lots of me and Andrew on the story that day, so that's going to be quite fun. Yeah,
absolutely. Give Milkshake a follow if you want to see more of the behind the scenes thing, because I found that more entertaining than the actual show myself, the behind the scenes to it all. So so thank you so much. If there's anything else you want to say, I feel like we should end on your video again though.
Oh, thank you.
Is that alright with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much, and we'll if anyone wants to get in the chat,
again.
oh mate, or anytime, you're always welcome, and hopefully the software doesn't update and kick us off next time. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you to Shelley. Good luck, mate. Literally everything crossed for you. I hope it goes amazingly well.
Okay, thank you.
Beauty at first sight appears fragile and delicate. One touch and it would never leave the ground. But this surface belies a hidden strength. You don't see past the struggle, slow and hard, over time and effort. In that dark place where some never emerge, but through sheer will, it becomes the butterfly. This beauty is stronger than it looks.